Data released every 6 months shows that the average loan write-off, average bad loan, what we call GNPA to total loan, GNPA to gross NPA to total loan is around 1% to 1.5%. India went up to 11%, a humongous 11%. Forget the history.
Your supplementary.
My supplementary is government making comparisons with international norms to understand how good or how bad we are?
NPAs gross and NPAs net are coming down. And if the, let me finish.
One second.
Are coming down. And the numbers are before me. I'd like to read for those who think, no, we are hiding facts. No, I will read by year. The net NPAs coming down. And Honorable Member Jawahar Sircar's question about would you want to compare it with the West? I just want to give one line, sir. If NPAs are coming down in India, and steadily at that, at every year's number shows, which I'll read it out, and would the Honorable Member please carefully notice that banking distress, whether in Germany or in the US, and the banks which are going bust in the US, if that has not been kept in the back of the mind of the member, and he still would raise, would you do international comparison? This is the comparison which speaks for itself. So if you want me to name by country and then by India's banks comparison, it's hair-splitting. You are, as a senior member of the House, aware that even last year, major bank collapses happened both in the United States of America and in Switzerland and in Germany. And here we are showing you figure year after year about NPA coming down. Doesn't that indicate the health of the banks in both these countries? Public sector banks, scheduled commercial banks. I would read both, first the scheduled commercial banks and the public sector banks subsequently. Net profit, net NPA ratio reduction. The high point was 2017-18 when scheduled commercial banks had a 5.94% of NPAs. And public sector banks had 7.97. Next year, it comes down to 3.65. Public sector banks comes down to 4.80. And 22-23, sir, it's come down, the scheduled commercial banks' net NPA ratio as a percentage has come down to 0.95. And it has come down to 1.24 in public sector banks.
Gross NPA to total loan is a percentage that is internationally accepted. Year by year comparisons are given out, and it is 1 to 1.2% on an international average. India has not come anywhere across it in the last 8 years. Would the minister, who has read so much, who has been kind enough to intervene, give us a year-by-year comparison of the IMF standard or the IMF accepted international standard of gross NPA to total loan
Mr. Sircar,
India's?
So, actually, sir, today when this debate is being really hot enough to talk about gross NPA, IMF standard, measuring NPA versus the gross profit of the total loans issued, and so on, the heart of the problem was when, during the 10 years of the UPA's ruling, between 2004 and 14, phones were used to ask for delivery of loan to customers who were not worthy of being given a loan. The burden fell on us to sort the Indian banks out with reforms, identifying, first of all, the 4 R's that we talk about. Prime Minister Modi sat with all of us and sat with the entire, my predecessor spent a lot of time, Sri Jaitley spent a lot of time understanding where the problem was and working together with the Reserve Bank of India. So the phone banking was the method through which the political interference spoiled all our banks and drove them to loss-making situation. Today, if enthusiasm is shown on asking questions about NPAs, it is, first of all, look at the problem which contributed to NPAs and made Indian banks actually having a twin balance sheet problem. And the twin balance sheet problem made the Indian economy come down to being a fragile economy. That fragile economy today is the fastest growing and a rate of 7.6 in the last quarter. So please, kindly do recognize these things before questions on NPAs are asked.
Jairam Ramesh.
So I would like to ask the Honorable Finance Minister, without getting into the history, 2,623 individuals own the bank's 1.96 lakh crores. Would she consider naming and shaming them
Honorable
so that
Minister.
there is pressure on these
Honorable
defaulters?
Minister.
Sir, action is being taken on willful defaulters. My answer in the Lok Sabha is actually indicative of banks taking steps towards getting the money back from these people. As of 31/3/2023, the legal suites for recovery were filed against 13,978 accounts. Action under SARFAESI have been initiated in 11,483 cases. FIRs have been filed in 5,674 cases. Aggregate amount of 33,801 crores have been recovered till 31/3/2023. As on 1st December 2023, just a couple of days ago, assets amounting to 15,186.64 crores have been confiscated by the ED, out of which amounting to 15,183.77 crores have been restituted to the public sector banks. Furthermore, sir, PMC Bank has recovered, I'm sure many from Maharashtra will be interested in knowing about this, PMC Bank has recovered 104.02 crores with active cooperation and support of ED. Assets amounting 692.89 crores have been confiscated under the provision of the FEOA 2018. So monies are constantly being recovered, not small amounts, huge amounts, which are going back to the public sector banks.